It started when Mia moved into the old countryside house with her parents. The air was always colder in the hallway, and the wood in the floorboards groaned like they were whispering secrets. On her first night, Mia found something unusual in her bedroom. Closet, an old porcelain doll with cracked cheeks and glassy blue eyes that stared too intently. Her mother claimed she had never seen the doll before. It wasn't part of the house when they moved in. At least that's what she thought. Mia, always drawn to strange things, decided to keep it. She placed it gently on a rocking chair in the corner of her room. That night, just past midnight, the sound of soft creaking woke her up. The chair was moving, rocking slowly, though the windows were shut and the air was still. The doll sat perfectly still. Mia blamed her imagination and went back to sleep. But each night after that, something changed. One night, the doll's head tilted to the side. The next, its arms rested differently. Once, she woke up to find the doll sitting at the edge of her bed, its glassy eyes staring straight into hers. Her parents didn't believe her. They thought she was just adjusting to the new place. Mia decided to test it. She took a marker and drew a small X under the doll's right shoe. She placed it back in the chair and took a photo before going to bed. At 3:12 a.m., she was awakened by the sound of her bedroom door creaking open. Her heart raced as she turned on her lamp. The chair was empty. The doll was no longer in her room. She got out of bed, trembling, and crept out into the hallway. Faint tapping echoed from the downstairs living room. Each step she took felt like walking deeper into a dream she couldn't wake up from. When she reached the bottom of the stairs, she saw it. The doll was standing by the fireplace, one tiny hand pressed against the stone, the other holding something. A small slip of yellowed paper. Mia froze. The doll shouldn't have been able to stand, let alone walk, let alone hold something. Its painted fingers were curled tightly around the note, as if it had always been meant to deliver it. She stepped closer. The doll didn't move, but she could feel it watching her. Not just with its eyes, but with something deeper, older, waiting. Mia snatched the note and backed away. In shaky handwriting, it read, "I was left behind. She took my name, my soul. Don't let her come upstairs." Suddenly, the lights in the living room flickered and went out. The fireplace remained cold, but the air grew thick and humid, as if something had just entered the room. Behind her, a soft thump. She turned around. Another doll. This one had red stitched lips, its eyes painted shut. It sat in the middle of the hallway where there had been nothing just moments ago. And then, its eyes opened. Mia dropped the note. From upstairs, the sound of her bedroom door slamming shut echoed through the house. And then she heard it, small footsteps, fast, rhythmic, coming down the stairs. Not one pair, several. She backed into the corner, heart hammering. She glanced at the porcelain doll still by the fireplace. It hadn't moved, but she swore it looked different now, sadder, like it was afraid of what was coming too. Mia stood frozen as the footsteps multiplied. The creaking steps groaned under invisible weight. Shadows flickered along the stairwell wall, small, misshapen figures that didn't match the shape of children or adults. They moved too fast, too unnaturally. Then the first one appeared. A rag doll, slouched and stitched from mismatched fabrics, stepped into view at the base of the stairs. Its button eyes glinted as if they reflected candlelight, though there was none. Behind it came another, and another. Dolls, all kinds, wooden, cloth, porcelain, each worn, cracked or stained with time. Mia backed further toward the fireplace. "Mom?" she whispered, barely able to find her voice. "Dad?" No answer. The doll by the fireplace, the first one she'd found, was now looking directly at her. Its head turned just slightly to the left. Mia's breath caught. Its lips had parted. Inside was not porcelain. Inside was something black, moving. Then she heard a voice, not from the doll, but from the walls themselves. "She took us, gave us names that weren't ours, kept us until we forgot." Mia turned toward the hallway. The stitched lip doll was gone. Suddenly, all the dolls stopped, silent, unmoving. And then a door opened upstairs, slow, steady, like someone didn't care if they were heard. A voice, female, soft, sing-song, drifted down the stairs. "Where is my favorite one?" The dolls slowly turned toward Mia, their heads all moving in unison. The fireplace crackled to life. No one had lit it. The flames danced in green and blue. The porcelain doll near her feet looked up and spoke in a hollow, echoing whisper. "She's coming for me, but she'll take you instead." And then it lunged. Mia fell backward as the porcelain doll leapt at her, but instead of pain, she felt cold, piercing and absolute, like falling through ice. The world around her spun, the walls of the house dissolving into mist. Then silence. When Mia opened her eyes, she was no longer in her living room. She was standing in a vast, shadowed room lined with shelves. On each shelf sat dolls, hundreds of them. Some weeping, some staring, some lifeless. And in the center, a tall woman in a tattered black dress, her face covered by a lace veil. "You should not have touched her," the woman said, voice ancient and cold. "She is mine." Mia tried to speak, but her mouth wouldn't open. Her body felt stiff, her fingers numb. The woman stepped forward, raising one hand. From behind her veil, pale, too long fingers reached out. Mia screamed inside her mind. But then movement. The first doll, the porcelain one, appeared at the woman's feet. It bowed. Slowly, it turned and looked at Mia, and she understood. The doll was never the enemy. It had wanted to escape too. In a flash of light, the doll shattered itself against the stone floor, breaking into 1,000 shards. The room trembled. The shelves cracked. The woman screamed, not in rage but in fear. Mia felt the cold grip loosen. Her body thawed. Light poured from the cracks in the walls, blinding and pure. And then, darkness. When Mia awoke, she was in her room. Morning sunlight streamed through the window. The rocking chair was empty. The doll was gone. She ran to her parents. They remembered nothing, said she'd been asleep all night, that nothing strange had happened. But Mia knew better. She opened her closet. The note was still there, faded now, but the last line had changed. "Thank you." She is gone for now, but never throw away a doll with no name. Mia never found another doll in her house again. But every so often at night she heard soft footsteps in the hallway. And once, just once, she saw a crack appear in her mirror, shaped like a smile.